It showed up. So it says we're doing a thing. So let's hit this button over here. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian.
And I'm Julia Childs.
Welcome to the Maryland Fishing Line episode 54. Today is Tuesday, July 6th, 2021. Happy 4th of July post, whatever it was. Just
Post.
had the
6th
weekend.
of July.
Yeah, happy 6th of July. Very excited to be here tonight.
Will
And
Smith
we're
and
wearing
Jeff Goldblum saved the world.
We're wearing our matchy jersey. and our
Gravel
shirts.
shirts.
But that's okay. They're still kind of matching. It's kind of cool that we match. I'm going to start matching from now on. That would be really awesome. But I'd have to grow a big old beard and actually look like a man. And that wouldn't work out for
That
me
wouldn't
too
work
well.
out too well.
Hey, let's take a real quick look at what's going on around the state. Folks are chumming and trolling up the cobia. But if you chum, you're most likely to encounter a cow-nosed ray, as they tend to hang out together. If you want to troll for them, red and green hoses for cobia seem to be the best at the point at the moment.
30-foot or 50-foot hose?
I would use the kind that expands when you put water in it.
Yeah. I got one of those out back.
Be like a 25-footer.
I'll be trolling it off my kayak tomorrow.
Keep in mind, folks, for cobia, there's a 40-inch minimum total length and a creel limit of one fish per person per day, no more than 2 cobia per boat. Big red drum are also showing up on the eastern shore side of the bay, and we still await their arrival over here.
Yeah.
We're waiting for those little puppy drums to show up, but I was waiting for Max to knock the camera over.
Yeah, me too.
But it didn't happen. Good job, Max. Good boy.
Epic. Oh, sorry. I kind of zoned out. Stripers.
I put the big breaks.
Yeah,
in
I
there.
know. I've never done this before. Stripers are around.
Strippers are around.
But keep in mind, the closure. What is the closure? Closure's coming
They're
up
right
soon.
here.
Striped bass fishing in Virginia waters of the Chesapeake Bay has been closed since June 16th and will reopen October 4th.
That's wild, isn't it?
Well,
I
no,
did
it
not
needs to
realize
happen. Only catch and release fishing of striped bass is allowed during this time. Keep them wet. Don't take a picture of all your fish.
Hey, hi, Jess. Say hi to the fishing people.
Maryland waters of the Chesapeake Bay will be closed to striped bass from July 16th to July 31st, which was just like last year, I believe. Anglers that are out casting topwater lures and paddle tails in the morning hours are finding mixed striped bass and speckled trout in the shallow waters around the edges of the bay and lower sections of the regional tidal rivers. Shoreline structure on the western side of the bay and the eastern marsh edges and grass beds offer a good place to cast topwater lures and paddle tails. The action is reported to slow down once the sun climbs above the horizon, and although not as productive, late evenings can offer the same action. But it's been hot, so that's the only
It's
time
been
you're going
so
to fish
hot.
anyway.
Yeah.
A high flood tide in the first part of the high ebb tide tends to be the best time to fish.
I have not had for a while there in the last couple of weeks. I had evenings where the bite would turn on, but the last few days it's just been dead. I mean, if you're not out there first light, forget about it.
Forget
not
about
even worth- It's just not even worth trying. It's just. So, folks, fishing for spot, white perch, and small blue fish has been good. Flounder fishing along the hard-bottom channel edges out in the bay has improved. It's getting better. I've heard a few pompano kingfish and even some sheep's head have surprised some folks in the past week or so.
In the creek here?
No. Bay proper. Fishing for spot and white perch obviously is very good in the lower Patuxent River.
Flounder fishing for all those doormats along the hard bottom channel edges has improved. You just read that.
I just did
Yeah,
that.
I know.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah. Can you just finish?
Plenty of catfish in the tidal Potomac, Patuxent, and Nanticoke rivers ready to jump on fresh cut bait of menhaden or gizzard shad. Gizzard shad. That's just a weird name. Gizzard shad. I wonder what makes it a gizzard shad.
It's got a big old gizzard.
It's got a big old
It's
gizzard.
like a goiter.
The largemouth are feeding mostly at night now that the summer heat is upon us. The heat is on. No, I'm not going to sing? Okay.
Yeah, no. Those who can be out on the water at dawn or late evening can enjoy good shallow water fishing with frogs, poppers, chatterbaits, and the grassy shallows.
Once that day kicks in, the sun comes up. If you're going to still be out there looking for largemouth, then you got to go to some of those bottom baits. Those fish get lazy and they move down to that structure, and off the map they go.
Yeah.
So, Joey, what's going on in your world? That pretty much wraps up the fishing report. I mean, there's good stuff happening everywhere.
Yeah,
The stripers are here, but be mindful of the upcoming closures.
Actually works if you go out and fish,
Yeah.
which I have not done.
You haven't been fishing at all? You're busy, man. I know. You know, the new shop is coming.
I've been riding my bike more.
Yeah.
I got to find that balance like you do. Last year I fished a ton
I
and
just
didn't
don't
ride
have
my
anything
bike.
I just don't have anything to do.
Yeah. No, the new store is chugging along. It's been freaking 5 hours prepping for a fire marshal today.
Now, when that happens, I'm curious about something. And
Do I get a refund from the last inspection?
That'd be nice.
Because it didn't work.
It didn't work out.
She said we were okay.
Curious to know if, because you've got a lot more square footage, if it's going to fill up with bike, or if you're actually going to have a little bit more of a mix with some of the paddle sport stuff.
I'll have a mix. It opens more opportunities to actually have an actual setup. We kind of made do last winter. We had a little bit of leftover inventory because I've always talked about it on here. I close up shop in October through like April. If I really wanted to, I can make a really nice paddle section in there. It all depends. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Entering the tackle world at all?
No,
Not even going close to it.
I'm not even gonna try.
No. Okay.
I've been wanting to do some deal with like Richie up at District Angling where I could have some like
A limited supply.
but more on the fly side because you have the tackle box that has everything.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, but
I don't
dude, I'm
promote.
gonna
Dick's.
tell you what right now.
It's a hike over there.
It's a long ways to go to tackle box.
Yeah. I
You
remember
know?
when you could get some stuff at Bunky's like when I was little, like
So,
in the 90s.
Who knows when they're going to be open? I saw them in there working again,
Oh, I don't know
and
what
there's
they're doing
tackle
half the
hanging
time.
on the walls in there,
No.
but they're just never open.
I didn't even know there was still a thing.
Well, they got sold. They got
Yeah.
sold and bought and sold, and then it was like
Yeah.
then they shut down for a long time, and then they were going to do a crab thing, and who
Yeah.
knows what's going on in there now. There's always somebody out there working.
I saw the dude that I think owns it out there cutting stuff with a big old
Yeah.
steel like concrete saw the other day.
But yet the store is never open. But
Yeah.
even when they were quote unquote a tackle shop,
Yeah.
who knew when they were going to be open?
Yeah.
It was a total crapshoot. And you can go into West Marine down here and pick up a few things.
West Marine has basically like little necessities. You're getting ready to go out and you're like, oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
they don't have much.
Four bags of paddle tails. They probably got it. But that's about it. I've really only bought paddle tails and leader.
Yeah.
Last year they didn't have a lot of leader.
No, I bought paddle tails, some gulp. They've actually got a little tiny freshwater section.
they started at the end of last summer. They got a nice little freshwater.
But
It was
it's-
enough.
It's kind of like it's mixed. It's like there's the whole tackle section,
And they had that little section up
and then
front.
there's a little section up front. It's like where
It
do
was
you go to
enough.
get the stuff? I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't know. I thought about doing like Flywise, getting little like
Hey.
packaged out like outfits.
You see who's in the live stream? Brendan's here.
I'm not even. Oh,
Brendan's here. Joey was looking for you not too long ago, Brendan. He was specifically asking when Brendan was where you were.
I saw him at the big group ride, but I didn't say anything.
He wants to know where the shop's going, and he got his fishing license at Bunky's a few weeks ago.
Oh.
So Bunky's is
You went
obviously
into
open.
a store and bought your fishing license?
We're not making fun of stuff. People that do that.
Oh, well, I mean, have your license. I just didn't know people.
You can buy them online. They're so easy to buy online now.
Yeah.
So I guess they were open. If
Yeah.
you got a license in there, then they were definitely open. And like I said, I saw the store open the other day when I rode by on my bike, and it had the door was open, and there was tackle on the walls. But I mean, who knows?
Who knows?
You know, it's it's frustrating.
Brendan, we will technically be closer to you.
I don't
And we're
actually.
closer to me.
Brendan said he doesn't have a working printer. I don't think I've printed a fishing license in
No,
forever
I
in a
just,
day. Just put it on my
do it
phone.
instantly on my phone.
And screen cap it and store it on my phone. I guess. So what if your phone dies or
Not
you
a bad idea.
drop your phone in the drink or something like that? I don't know. I probably should have a hard copy of it. With
Probably.
doing what
We're
I'm
gonna
doing.
do
but-
oh, is it Pennsylvania? You got to have it like on your hat or something.
Yeah, you got to put it like a
Like on
sticker.
your vest?
You
Yeah.
got to have it on the back of your head or something.
But
get
yeah,
that.
we'll technically, I'm not saying it yet because we're still waiting on one thing, but we'll be closer
Mm-hmm.
to you guys.
You'll be very close.
Yeah,
Very close.
my commute got cut in half.
You can figure it out from there, Brendan. Yeah. That's actually pretty doggone close. Basically, I think he could throw a rock and maybe hit it.
Hit it, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Could have, because when we were I don't think he knows we were actually gonna be neighbors.
Oh,
Probably
sorry,
across the street,
You were looking at
the end unit, probably across from where they are. Got in a little bidding war, and And then this popped up, so we took this in the middle of the bidding war.
Well, you're happy here though.
I love it here, yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been happy over there.
We joke around with Jess though that you were looking for a new house, like the whole
Our
ride the other day.
our house is double its value right now, double what we owe.
See?
It's crazy.
Well, it's just the market.
We got a really good deal on this, but the market right now, I know a couple of people that have sold. That have sold. My friend Rich just sold his townhome.
Buy when it's low, sell when it's high.
He had like 100,000 left on it. He sold it for $5 million. And he's going to rent up in Annapolis for like a year. He's like, I want it, and
Wait
he's
for
like,
the
I grew
prices
out
to
of
come
it.
down. Wait for the prices
Anyway,
to come down. Yeah.
Buy more kayak stuff. I don't even know where we're at, but that's
So
kinda
I've been fishing.
You've been fishing a lot. You've been taking a lot of fish pictures.
I didn't fish today. I did fish yesterday. I picked up a few rockfish, but I am trying to be a little more responsible, Joey. I'm just paying attention to where they are. The side scan really helps. I can find the fish. I can pick up a couple ones, and then I can move away and move on. So I'm not abusing the fish that I find, but I'm abusing the perch like crazy. I just go rip their lips right off of them, throw them in the cooler for crabs. So I've been doing a lot of perch fishing, but also the reason I've been doing so much perch fishing is I know that when the puppy drum do show up, I'm going to catch one when I'm perch fishing.
Yep.
That's how it's going to happen. So even though you look at it and say, why don't you get tired of ripping the lips off those perch? But really, it's not the perch I'm after. I just want to be there when the puppy drum show up. Well, don't tell anybody. Morning bites have definitely, we talked about it earlier, morning bites have definitely been better than the evening bites, but a couple of times I've had an evening bite turn on with some breaking fish. But inevitably, because it's the evening and everybody's out in their boats, somebody wants to run up and run their little center console that they just got right into the middle of a breaking school of fish. It never fails. It never fails. You sneak up on them in a kayak as soon as they start breaking, because you kind of watch them, and then they show up. I've been spending a lot of time in the creek this last week just talking to people, because there's a lot of people out. So I'm just riding around in the kayak, and since I'm just ripping perch out from underneath their docks, I'll stop and talk to people. Mm-hmm. And I haven't had any DNR encounters until this last week.
Oh, you finally got checked?
No, I didn't get checked. I was just stopping talking to him, and the DNR guy he told me a funny story. He actually caught a guy poaching in the creek.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Dude had a bucket full of undersized striped bass. Because that's, I'm getting a lot of them. And so, I asked him what in the world he did. And he said the guy actually told him that they were his pet fish. That was his response. These are my pet fish. I bring them out every night, and I put them in the water, and they go for a swim, and then I tap the side of the boat, and they come swim back in the bucket. This is what he told him, right? And so the DNR guy's like, yeah, show me that trick. I want to see that trick. So the guy takes the bucket of fish, and he dumps it over the side of the boat, and the DNR guy says, the officer says, well, call him back now. He goes, what fish?
Are you serious? This sounds like a story, it sounds like an internet story.
It's a toe joke, man.
Yeah,
it's
I know
a toe joke.
I've heard that before.
But you played right along with me then.
Well, until you got to the end of that.
Well, that was
this is like the old GTD, freaking alligator thing or whatever you had.
The alligator and the tow joke, the tow truck. That was the other one. Yeah. So sorry about that. I strung you along a little bit. I'm. Yeah. Bald Jerry. Hey, Bald Jerry. Jerry said he'd
Bald Jerry?
Bald Jerry.
Bearded
Jerry said he'd rather be bald.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay. That's just a callback. Maryland Kayak Outfitters. Folks, if you're looking for a fun afternoon or evening or morning, early morning, flat rate, everything's included. It's the Club Med of kayak fishing adventures.
Club Med.
Club Med. You know how Club Med, you'd go to Club Med and it's all inclusive. You don't have to worry about anything. All you have to do to fish with us is show up with a fishing license. That's it. I put you on the boat. I put the tackle in your hand.
You gonna catch fish for me?
That's one thing's different about going out on a kayak trip like that, like a guided kayak trip. When you go on a charter boat, it's basically you sit there and you eat fried chicken and you drink beer until the mate catches a fish and then he hands you the rod and you reel it in. That's not the way it works on a kayak. You're doing the work. I love fried chicken too.
Cold fried chicken.
Cold fried chicken on a fishing boat.
My childhood when,
Yep.
My family and my dad's friend Mark.
Well, it's because you got to get up early, so you go buy the fried chicken the night before.
Roy Rogers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Back in the day.
Yep. Back in the day. But that's unlike the world of kayak fishing. I will put you in the neighborhood of the fish. I will put the right tools in your hand, but you, my friend, are doing the job. So if you feel like that's a little bit, Brendan, thanks, Brendan. Charter fishing sounds lovely.
Yeah,
I did just
after you describe that,
make it sound
that
pretty
does
good.
sound pretty good.
Mate does all the work, and then you just turn the reel and catch the fish. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I still got fish bounties going on. First,
I thought I won both those.
no.
Yeah.
First puppy drum on a guided trip or from a rented boat earns a free rental, and every citation, Maryland State citation size fish caught from a rented kayak or from a guided trip earns a free all-day rental.
So every citation I catch, I get free rental.
If you're on one of my rented boats, or if you're on one of my guided trips. So if you want to pay me to guide you to those citation size fish,
It's like a buy one get one. You still gotta buy something.
kinda, yeah, kinda. It's like it's a gamification
Yeah.
of fishing from a different perspective. So there's that. Got a couple of questions.
What if I use one of my pet fish
You could use all of your pet fish.
and I'll rig them every time to just be like, all right, come on.
Got a couple of questions from the kayak crowd. This one I had to really run to ground, and I did not know the answer. Do nettles, sea nettles, jellyfish, show up on sonar, particularly from a kayak? Now,
Is it your new fancy dancy side scan?
well, I didn't have the answer, so
You can find a fish farting with that thing.
I know you see the fish fry.
Yeah.
I actually bounced this question over to Alan Batista of Light Tackle Kayak Trolling Chesapeake Bay, and he's the author of several books on light tackle striper fishing. You're familiar with him?
Nope.
He was actually stumped, and he forwarded this message over to a contact that he has at Humminbird, who also was stumped. They did not know the answer. I did a little bit of internet research, so I'm pretty much an expert on the subject now. I may be the foremost expert in the world now. And there was like a mixed bag. Some people said, yeah, they're going to show up on sonar. Some people were like, oh, that's stupid. They're the same consistency as water. They're not going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
But, sometimes the body part of a sea nettle is kind of
Pretty big.
It's substantial, and it's also it's definitely not the same density as water. So it makes sense to me that a larger nettle would show up.
Yeah, I would assume it would.
Okay.
It's bouncing the rays down.
Yeah.
Does it go through it?
I guess that's it. Maybe it will be a weak return, but I think you're still going to see a return. That's my thought. Do you have any thought? I mean,
Is it like our taxes?
I think that it's going to show up. I
We need to
think
do some
you'll see it.
experimenting.
How
I'll
in the
go-
world
I'll-
would you do
I
that?
don't know.
I don't
Find
know.
them.
I've got so many nettles. Do you have nettles in your creek?
Well, I haven't been out much, but I know last year, after the 2 years we didn't have them, they were so thick in areas.
They are so thick right
Oh
now.
my
in
god!
St. Leonard Creek.
It was throwing off some topwater stuff.
And creepy little ones.
the little
that
ones, and you,
clump
like,
up.
especially over by the tugboats, you like depending on the way the tide was ripping, you could just there'd be like hundreds in like a square foot. It was
Oh, yeah.
it was disgusting.
It's creepy. It's creepy is what it is.
Like the moon jellies, we used to have moon jelly wars, and those things are fun. You
Oh
pick
yeah,
them up,
the
throw 'em,
little
but-
winter jellies. Yeah.
But these were like the jellies that'll sting you.
So that that nettles only sting you in places where you have
Hair.
hair follicles. I didn't know that.
Oh, I should shave my body.
That was what my answer was. Just a full body shave, and then you'd be completely immune. But it was like, no, it'd be where the hair follicles are.
I'll
It's
keep
like,
my beard. That's about it.
you sting me in the face. The other day I was perch fishing with a little perch pounder, and they got one of the jellies hung up
Yeah.
on it, and I went to sling it, and the
Ooh, got it
came
around your neck?
across that came right across the back of my neck.
I've had that happen before.
Oh, it stung for an hour. It was one of the big ones, and you just kind of like I pull it out of the water, and pay attention, give it a little whack.
Well, next
and-
time it happens, call me. I'll come pee on your neck.
That's the answer. I tried to pee into a water cup and pour it on my back, but it
Oh no, you
didn't
just gotta like lean back and arch it.
get an arch going.
Yeah.
So we don't have an answer to that question. If anybody has any insight, please leave us some comment or something.
Ow.
Second question from the kayak crowd. When traveling with your kayak, particularly overnight, how do you secure your boat? So like say you've got it in your truck.
Yeah.
How would you secure it? I mean, for me, I think I would take the pedal drive out. I wouldn't have the pedal drive. None of the
Yeah.
seat and all that stuff would be gone.
None of the
anyway.
important stuff.
And then just put like a bike lock, like a cable lock.
Cable. Yeah, one of those bike cable locks.
Through
you can
where
put
the
it through a
pedal
scupper
drive?
hole.
Yeah, because I mean, somebody
Well,
could,
on the pedal boats, you could go. You have a huge hole.
yeah,
Yeah. That's how you do it.
or go through like a scupper hole, even if it's a not pedal drive,
Yeah.
not pedal drive. So is that the only answer? I mean,
That's the only way I could have it.
I can't think of any other way to
Thule
do
used
it.
to do like they had like a cut-proof cinch strap, like a wire going through it or something, which
Yeah, but what
Still
part,
wouldn't.
What part of your truck do you actually secure it to?
like
Because my bed has hooks in it, but I mean, you could just take the right tool and undo the hook, so that doesn't work.
my
With the
attachments
toe-
in my bed, the little side hooks on my F-150 would be hard to take out.
They would be hard to take out, but it
they're
would be
good. I mean,
doable.
but I could probably cut through the cinch strap if I really wanted to before that. But the bike lock, the like 6 foot just cable lock or something, which just keeps honest people honest.
And I guess if you
If I don't really want it to, then nothing's.
if you were worried about it, you could actually wrap the cable so that even if they took the hook off of the bed, they'd still have to be left with the cable.
With
But
that,
yeah.
well, if I was using the cinch straps, otherwise I'm going to go to probably the hook or my hitch.
Yep. Jerry actually said running through the chain loops on the trailer hitch. That's a good idea.
I mean,
yeah.
that's how I lock my bikes anyway. If I don't have like a bike rack,
Brendan had a good idea. Go through the rim, the wheel rim. Actually wrap it around
hopefully
there.
you'd forget to.
Yeah, don't forget it. And that'd be an awful long chain to actually, or cable
Yeah.
lock. You'd have to have a real
I'd probably
long
go through the
cable.
hitch.
Hitch is a good idea. Jerry wins. Jerry wins the comment with going through the trailer hitch. Anyway, I thought that was
Just buy a box trailer, put it inside of it.
it's not a bad idea either. Remember we talked about getting the Sprinter vans that would fit. The boats would just slide right in the
Yeah.
back.
That'd be a good business
Yeah.
purchase for me.
I'm not doing that. I bought enough kayak stuff. I'm not buying any more kayaks. Joey showed me a boat in Florida. Asked me
Yeah,
if I wanted
Titan
to go
13.5 now. You get the whole Titan fleet.
Hey, have you ever been in one of the 13s?
Yeah.
That's
I
gotta
put
be-
me
I
and
mean-
Andrew. My picture of us in a Titan, well, we did 12 and 13.5.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that thing didn't, the water line was just, didn't move.
I was showing Jerry. He came down fishing with his buddy Travis, who listens to the podcast. And we went out on the creek, and I was showing him, it was like just the stability of popping up
On the 12?
On the 12, it was just like in my old town in the topwater, I'd kind of have to grab and kind of like make sure feet are in the right position, and then
Yeah.
kind of ease yourself up. With that Titan, it's just like, oh, you want to stand up? Stand up.
You just stand up.
You just
don't-
stand up. There's no drama, no balancing act. Billy here. How you doing, Billy? Billy, how's your back
Billy.
doing? Hope your back's doing well.
Wherever
Yeah,
that
so
photo
far.
is, I always show you where there's two of us in the Titan 13.5. That's a
I've seen it.
13.5.
That's a 13.5.
Yeah. And it
One
was
of you guys-
totally stable.
One of you guys were in the back and one
Standing.
Was in,
Yeah.
that's got to be a massive
Standing, hold
boat.
on
How
to
much
back.
does that weigh? 250 pounds or so? 300 pounds?
No, I think it's 163 or something.
Holy cow! Well,
It's a 100% trailer boat.
I would not.
Although
not.
the guy you told to put sideways was talking about a 13.5. I saw that and I meant to text you, and then you finally sent me the screenshot.
There was a whole thing in one of the native Facebook groups about people going the debate about whether you put a boat
Front
into
or
the
back.
bed,
I
front
was
or
like, I
back.
put it sideways.
I put mine sideways across the bed to clear out the traffic as I'm going down the road. It got no comments. A couple of people laughed. I was waiting to get like slammed for it. We're just, because it was literally
You
like
should have taken a picture.
80 comments, and half of them were this way. And, oh, that'd be a good idea too, to actually put it in the bed of the truck and strap it down. Like
We could have taken a picture of you pulling out of your neighborhood.
That would have been funny. That would have been real funny. Cool. Hey, Billy, I saw that picture. He said his back's doing great. He managed an 8.2 pound bass on Saturday. I saw that picture. That fish had a big belly. Had a big belly. That was a nice looking fish. That was a mess. Is that your personal best, Billy? I don't want to carry on a conversation through the chat, but I'm curious. Is it? That's a big fish. If it wasn't, then I'd love to see what else you caught there. Say something about bluefish earlier. Yeah, we were talking about bluefish. Some people in the bay proper over on the eastern shore are catching bluefish. I don't know if they've got any size to them. I don't
Not
think
anymore in the bay.
I've seen anything with any size to it. It's just little chopper blues. You ready to do this or that? Ian Billy said yes, it was his personal best. Congratulations on that, man. That's awesome. Salute. Hats off. Click, click. You want to do this or that?
Yes.
Okay. Joey, would you rather go surf fishing in the ocean or bank fishing on a little pond?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mhm.
Bank fishing on a little pond bring back to my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Surf fishing? I don't know. There's different types of surf fishing. You get in the area where the hardcore surf fishing is. We were talking about it with Captain Mike like 2 weeks ago. In some areas, you get the hardcore guys and you do something wrong or you don't have this or that, like they'll just kick you out.
You get down to like the point on the Outer Banks.
Yeah, or you get up to like
And-
Montauk and stuff.
Mhm.
That type of surf fishing.
Yep.
I mean, I would kind of like just chilling on a beach,
Yeah.
not the whole get up surf fishing guys, but cooler and
Especially for some spot
Yeah,
and
just
some
on the beach,
croaker
yeah.
or something. Yeah.
go down to like a part of like
Asti or
Wilmington and
something
stuff
like
like
that,
that,
yeah,
and
yeah.
just chill, maybe catch some redfish and stuff. But
Yeah, I dig that.
that's the type of surf fishing I would like to do.
I think I would rather do that than the
I don't have to worry about snakes.
snakes and ticks.
I was thinking of the wildlife,
Snakes and ticks.
so that's how I would go surf.
I think pretty much everybody right down the board. Brendan, Casey,
the pond
Sean,
can be fun. It's the
Robert,
right occasion.
Surf.
Hey,
Yeah.
you remember we were fishing your ponds one day last year, and right before I pulled in, you were just casting off the side of the little
Oh, yeah.
like 30-inch snakehead.
30-inch snakehead.
Yeah.
And that was the first two casts.
Yeah.
So that, I caught like
that
a
was
3-pound
like
bass.
yeah, bait
cast
fishing from a
again.
pond. Yeah. So
Second item, I think we both have kind of agreed, surf fishing, and everybody right down the line. This is kind of along the same vein, but slightly different. Bottom fishing for perch or bobber fishing for bluegill.
oh, bobber fishing for bluegill.
Really?
Something fun about the bobber just going bloop.
Yeah, I enjoy the bottom fishing with little weight and a little double top bottom rig. And you're kind of bouncing
I
along
like
the
bobber
bottom.
fishing.
You set up a nice drift from a small boat and you just start bouncing that little thing along the bottom. But bloodworms are so expensive right now. That's really expensive fishing. Were they $12 a dozen or something like that?
I just grill my own.
I saw somebody's telling me today. There's somebody local that says they're getting local bloodworms from somewhere. I don't know that there's. A trick is that if you get some bloodworms and they go bad on you, to just buy some night crawlers and throw the bloodworms in with the night crawlers, and they kind of absorb the
Bloodiness.
the bloodiness, so they can actually work. Jerry said he'd rather go bank fishing. I just want to go to the bank. Jerry's like a day late on that one. He's like, yeah, Jerry, you're one behind on that one, buddy. Would you rather have a knife too big or a knife too small?
For what?
Anything.
Everyday
the
carry?
jab
EDC?
at hand. Yeah. Would you rather have a knife that is too big or a knife that is too small for the task?
Too small.
Really?
Yeah, it's all about how you use it.
Okay. That was not intended to have any sort of.
No,
other
I'm just
information.
saying, like my knife I carry every day is on the border, I think, of being too big for my pocket.
Mine.
That's too big.
No, you see, it doesn't
That's too
feel
big.
big though.
Yeah.
It sits in my
Yeah,
pocket.
if you're-
I had to think.
I'm going to
about
call
whether or
you
not it
John
was there.
Rambo.
I just had to think about whether it was there or not because I reached down when you said that, and you've always given me grief that this Kershaw is too big.
That's
but it's,
huge.
It's actually not.
I said John
It's
Rambo.
just right.
Jerry Bobber.
Jerry said boober. Everybody wants a knife that's too big. I agree. I want.
If it's everyday carry, I'm going to go small.
Nah, I go too big.
I mean, what are you cutting where you need like a freaking K-bar?
Well, I would just rather have more tool for the job than to be under-tooled. That's just me. That's just me. I just want more blade. That's where it's at. That's where I'm at.
My Gerber is the perfect size.
Since I got that knife, I haven't really carried it a lot.
Yeah, 'cause you got a freaking samurai sword.
Well, that Kershaw's not that big. It looks bigger than it is. It looks bigger than it is. Okay.
Is it sharp?
Very sharp. I cut my finger with it. I've cut my hands up so badly.
The first day I got my replacement, I was cutting up I wasn't cutting boxes with it. I had like 5 cuts on my hands that day from cardboard and that knife. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Joey, podcast audio or YouTube video?
Oh, podcast audio.
Podcast audio.
God, I don't even do the work you do, and it's a freaking nightmare setting it up and getting it ready. You're so efficient and relaxed. Now that we're only doing YouTube once a month now,
I do. I think so. I think it's
fun doing this, but
yeah, I agree. It's fun, but I also like the fact that without the
YouTube
cameras
crash.
right in our face, we're looking at each other and talking to each other. We're not paying nearly as much attention to the comments. So maybe it hurts us in the long run from a YouTube perspective.
I don't
but
run.
I don't care. I like the podcast audio. It's so simple. Last week we didn't even have like computers set up, did we? I think
Yeah,
it was
a little
just
bit,
the
but-
recorder and us chatting, and that was it. It was real nice. Your dad says he likes to see YouTube videos, so I don't know. I like the YouTube video for certain things, but I don't think we were really getting the traction with it that warranted the hassle of it, which is the biggest thing. So.
Yeah.
Thank you, Casey. Casey likes the podcast audio. Billy says either one. I think now that people are going back to work and they're starting to commute again, I think podcast audio is going to take back over because then it's an on-demand thing.
What was nice
when you
today,
want it.
I was working in Leonardtown for a few hours, just picking up, cleaning, taking a dump run. But like as the few hours I was working in the shop over there, I just had my AirPods in and just had a podcast going, and I liked it.
Yeah, I agree. And I listen to them when I fish. I listen to all sorts of stuff when I fish. So
You listen Fishing for Dummies while you fish?
no, I don't listen. I listen to a broad range of news, music, and hits from today.
Yeah.
I don't know. Casey says her dogs like to watch us on the TV. So
I would have done my hair.
that's kind of cute. I did something about that. So, anything else, Joey, before we wrap it up?
No, I'm actually getting tired.
Joey, where can folks find you and get in touch with you?
Usually if I'm walking out in my neighborhood, you can come find me.
We do.
So there are some people that come by, but let's see. My Instagram is at Joey Skorsky24 or at Pack Paddle Sports. If you want to leave us a voicemail, our phone number is 410-231-3850.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
That's about it.
I'm on Instagram, folks, at Chesapeake Angler and at BN Rains and at MD Kayak Outfitter. So I have 3 Instagram accounts, and I don't know how to use any of them. We put out the call last week for tech support, and I thought for sure we were going to have a bunch of people like lined up out on the sidewalk. They may actually be out there. We don't know.
It's a little warm. They probably passed out.
Yeah. Didn't happen. So you're stuck with what you got. Poor audio, whatever.
Dude, this dog is out.
Yeah.
Last podcast, he was freaking out.
Yeah, he's zoned out. I think he had to do some business.
Yeah,
earlier, and that was what he was.
Yeah, poop anxiety.
Yeah. We all get it. It happens to all of us.
It happens to me
Don't
3 or
worry.
4 times a day.
Hey, everybody, thanks for listening with us this weekend. We'll talk to you again next week. Until then, go catch some fish.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. Bang.
Maybe I will take my shirt off this time.
Thank you, all you live stream people. We will see you again next month in August for our next live stream.